Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Southampton 1, Everton 2. Joined by Mike. Another win.
Back-to-back wins.
Back-to-back wins. Monday, able to talk about an Everton win.
With a smile on your face.
With a smile, it's fantastic. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And let's hope it continues. Everton, big win. First away win of the season. And 7 games unbeaten now in all competitions. So not bad.
What time to be alive. No, I must admit, I think it's good to get the away victory out the way as well. And I know it sounds a little bit silly, but we've got the home victory, away victory. We just get up and running. And I think just start keeping that momentum going now, because we've seen it obviously build, and we could see what was going on with the performances on the pitch. And obviously, I think Pez had said it a while back about Newcastle is first of all turn the defeats into draws, turn the draws into victories, and it seems like what they're doing.
You've got it. It is important, and you're saying there, it sounds silly, but that's the first thing I always look for each season. Get your first home and get your first away, and then you're getting rid of any noise around. It's been, 10 games now without a win, and it's done. It's done. We've got it sorted, and actually Everton's away record over kind of like the last 7 away games from the back end of last season. All right, had a couple of wins, a few draws, a couple of defeats. So that's something that Frank Lampard had to address. He arrived at the club, we had 1 away win, which was in the August, and we didn't get another one until Leicester in the May.
Yeah.
So we had to, kind of like deal with that, and we've done it early on this season. And there has been a shift, hasn't there? There was a lot of nonsense around Frank Lampard in the summer from the press and early on in the season, and you're still seeing the odd thing now. He's under pressure where everyone around the club, Evertonians and people inside the club, would just be like, what are you talking about?
That's it. There's not one person I know that had questioned what he was doing, or what. You could see the plan. You can see what they're trying to do, and there's some transfer activity that they've done. It was all filling gaps and voids that we've seen as glaring obvious errors. Lacking leadership, or we've brought that in. Centre backs obviously command and hand. Midfield, we've got complete overhaul midfield. You've now got options off the bench. All right, there's still bits to work on the top end of the field, and we know that, but they're not going to change that all in one window. So I think the fans gone into the start of the season, after the transfer window closed, certainly anyway, with a lot of optimism, and you can see the plan behind it. You've got a manager that's bought into the club, buys into the fans. It's something to get behind, and it's just we've just got to, as fans, I think we've just got to get behind it and enjoy it, and let the club, and look, there'll be ups and downs, there's going to be ups and downs. The squad's not completely there yet, and the calibre of players obviously going to have times where they're not going to necessarily perform on the day, but if we can just keep backing them, then we could have a good solid season.
Yeah, I mean, you've just touched on some massive things there. The togetherness you've seen at the end again.
Yeah, brilliant, wasn't it?
Fans are fantastic again. Those, got down there, and no trains, but automobiles, and people probably jogged down, got on bikes, flew down, whatever they did. Yeah, to get down there, and the brilliant voice all afternoon, and they deserve that opportunity near the end. And there has been a thing, hasn't there, over the last few years on social media about like the celebration police. You're not allowed to enjoy winning games of football anymore and all that. So I love it. I want it to carry on doing it and do it even more. I want lots of piss to be boiled that we're celebrating and win, because it's fantastic. You go away, you get the 3 points.
Yeah.
The way it happened as well, going behind, and then you see Lampard there, and you see the players with the fans. Absolutely brilliant to see.
Well, to people outside the club, they're probably looking and going, celebrating, come back a 2-1 win away. But we've seen what we've seen previously, and we know what normally happens, or what's previously happened over the last 5-6 years. You go 1-0 down, we're done. Over. It's 2-3, it's 4, So for us to see that character change, to see what's happening, it gives us something to get behind. And no, I mean, to be honest, if you can't go to the game and celebrate when you're winning games, I don't really see if football's for you. Yeah. I mean, I like it as well at the moment when you go into home games and there's an atmosphere, win, lose or draw, at least makes that experience more enjoyable for you, doesn't it? So I don't really see what the issue is with it. I think it's good.
No, great. It's great to see. Obviously, going into the game, no Dominic Calvert-Lewin again, which is a little bit worrying.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? What was the actual?
The initial one was the knee, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then obviously there was a slight issue with his groin after
training.
Saying, and it's one of those things. And I guess until he gets himself back in and playing again regularly,
I think it's more mental.
There's a worry. without knowing him, you wouldn't know, would you? It's you hope it is, because you can get over that.
Yeah.
The one thing I guess you can take comfort from, if you want to, is that it's not a reoccurrence of anything.
Yeah. It's
just the fact he's picking up niggly injuries. Now, the knee's opened his knee up having a shot at the end of training.
Yeah.
Can happen at times, I guess. The groin can be a result of worrying about the knee if you're doing something.
Yeah,
don't forget the quad basically went because he was playing with a broken toe.
Yeah.
So you know whenever you've done anything, you start compensating, and then that leaves a weakness. So what we have to do is get him back to a level where he's durable and he can be available, because he was. Will he ever do that? We don't know. Hopefully he will, but we've seen other areas, other players where it hasn't happened. But I think he'll get back, get in a rhythm, he'll be fine then. But he wasn't available. Jordan Pickford was back. Begovic did well against West Ham, but Pickford are always coming back in.
Of course, yeah.
And obviously Seamus Coleman coming in for Nathan Patterson, which was a huge blow. But you know, Seamus a good deputy. I had no issue with that. It's just gutting because Patterson was doing really well.
So well, yeah.
And obviously, when you see the team and you're like, oh, Anthony Gordon's on the bench, but it later transpired him and Onana were a little bit unwell. But Onana wanted to play, so Dwight McNeil came in, and Everton started the game actually really well and could have had a goal inside the first minute and a half. You know,
started on the front foot,
you know, great, good little move actually, playing out from the edge of our box, and Maupay does really well and gets it wide. Nwobi puts a cross in, and Onana he claims he got a little nudge. I don't know, but he didn't seem to know whether to head it or to try to side foot it in, and bounced up and hit him on the knee.
I think that ball from Nwobi was fantastic, by the way. Great ball in. Yeah, I think Onana needs to work on that a little bit, arriving in the box in terms of, he gets in the box, fantastic, which is great to see, by the way. We've got bodies in the box finally. But obviously he's just got to work a little bit on what he's doing when he's in there. I think he went down a little bit easy for that one. I think it was one bit later on that he might have got. But yeah, just starting on the front foot, getting the crowd going, you know, getting a bit of momentum and quieting the home crowd is always a good way to start an away game.
Yeah, absolutely, and we will look at Onana a bit later about him arriving in the box. But I thought the first half Everton were in total control, really.
Yeah,
I thought some decision making was probably the reason why we didn't get a goal or two in the first half. We had just some really nice patterns of playing, and he gets to that final third, and
I felt like with Gray, McNeil and Maupay, they just didn't have the chemistry. I don't know, they didn't seem to know what each other were doing. Obviously McNeil hasn't had many starts, so him coming in, Gray's a little bit erratic in his form anyway. And I thought, to be honest, Maupay wasn't great. He worked hard, but I don't think it was his best game so far for us. So yeah, once it got up there was just no cohesion between the three of them, and it fell to bits a little bit in the final third.
I think McNeil, when he was on the right, I thought he really struggled early on. I think the manager had the foresight to switch them. Because he hasn't got dynamism to get away from players. It's close control. He's got a nice left foot, we know that. And Seamus was defending more than he was attacking, so he's never really going to go in the overlap to create that opportunity for him to come back onto his left foot. Thought he did struggle, and I thought that's when the manager swapped it and put Gray on the right and him on the left. I thought he'd come into it a little bit more. But Maupay done a lot of work off the ball, and hold up play was actually quite good. He was quite strong, but he didn't look sharp enough around the box.
No, he just didn't quite look on it. But like you say, what's good is if you've got someone who is at least putting that shift in for you and occupying the defenders whilst he's not quite on the game is not a bad thing. Yeah.
We had, what was really frustrating was in the first half, we had 6 corners and we just never looked like we're going to score off a corner.
No, well, I think we'd look like we'll score off a corner if we can actually put one in. As in, like, once it goes in.
I don't necessarily mean.
But that's the thing. If you can't put a cross in,
the delivery's not great, or if it is a good one, we're just not quite getting on the end of it. Maybe that's because they don't realise a good ball's coming in.
I don't know what it is.
We've got to mix that up, really, in terms of taking it. Like, we had one in the West Ham game where Mikalenko took one and missed it. He went out for a corner. He kind of just went, I'm not taking another one, and left it again. And we have got it, I think, when you've got players like Conor Cody, Tarkovsky in there,
Onana, the height of him, he's going to
obviously if Dom gets back, and we've got to start putting them in dangerous areas.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got James Garner.
I thought McNeil, wasn't McNeil not meant to be someone who's good on a dead ball situation.
He tried one, didn't he? And then didn't want to take another one. So I don't know.
Strange one.
It's something to work
professional
on.
footballers.
It is mad because obviously we've worked on set plays and defensively we've been really good at them. So Ashley Cole's done brilliant work and the rest of the coaching staff defensively. It's, as I guess, it's always harder offensively, isn't it? Because you're up against that. But that's something we need to work on. But we had a really good opportunity and it come from a poor corner. Damari Gray put a poor corner and got cleared, and then he took a brilliant little touch, beat the man and whipped it in, and Connor Cody fraction gets a nick, but it looped up in the air, and that was like one of our better moments in the first half.
I thought Gray was erratic throughout the whole game, but he's got that little bit of now and again he can create something, can't he? And that ball across, I thought Cody was a little bit on his heels for that. I thought he could have got there a little bit quicker, but again, with that, are they expecting him to get it in? Did he know what he's going to do? So it was one of them. I thought the first half, I felt comfortable watching it. I had absolutely no fear watching an away game for honestly the first time for I don't know how long. I thought we were in complete control, and I thought it was one of like a proper away performance. You know, just not panicking. You know, taking your time, trying to. You know, keep the opposition crowd quiet and sort of force them back bit by bit. I mean, it was nice football, just letting down in that final third constantly, time and time again. And like I said, I think McNeil, hopefully, with more games we'll get into, he definitely needs to be on the left because he ain't got a right foot.
No.
And like you say, if he ain't got Patterson overlapping, certainly needs to be on the left. Because I thought second half when he played the ball into Gray as well, when Gray should have finished it. You know, he played a few good little balls. He can't play them if he's on the right-hand side. No. So if he is going to play, I think he needs to be on the left. Damari Gray, like I say, he's just hit and miss. And, you know, for £1.5 million, I suppose you can't
I think with Gray, for me, he looked our most likely outlet for us to score at the weekend. I think he travels so well with the ball. It's his decision-making sometimes. He always looks like he's going to create you something. I think a problem you've got, if you Neil Maupay, is he crossing it in? Is he throwing it in, or is he going to turn back? You don't know when to run. So you don't know. We've seen that against West Ham when he went on that brilliant run and shifted it and put it across. Maupay was a little bit like, oh, it's coming in. Whereas if he knew it was coming in, he'd have gambled. He'd had a tap in and close the game off. So I think, I don't know how you get that into the
I suppose with those type wingers, being unpredictable is part of what makes them what they are. But then that to me is then when you need the other winger to be solid, more consistent. I think so. I think it was in the first half as well. He went on a good run and got that shot away, and he probably should have got a better shot away. But he's got he's causing problems and stuff. So not a dig at him as such, but there was just something lacking between the three of them when we got to the final third.
Someone that said on one of the other shows, someone said he's got Champions League quality and Championship decision making.
And that's
maybe that's why he's not.
That's why his career's gone the way it's gone, hasn't it? To be fair, you know, like he's obviously he was at Leicester, he peaked, you know, he was flying, and he dipped off a little bit, went over to Leverkusen, started well, dipped off, come to us, started well, it's had ups and downs, and I suppose just the certain players are going to be like that throughout the career, and at his age now, are you going to drastically change him? Probably not. You know, but again, moving forward, hopefully that's the place and area we're going to strengthen him, and if he can be someone who's competing for a place in the side, then that's not a bad place for us to be.
No.
So he's what he is, isn't he?
I just wish he'd throw more balls into the box. Drive them, because he's, like I say, he commits defenders well, and he can put a great ball in.
Definitely.
And I think as a striker, it makes your job easier. Then if you know that he's going down, he's going to throw it in. I'm gambling, I'm getting in the middle, and I've got to tap in after.
The other winger can gamble on the back post as well.
So, but like you said, I thought he did. He was our chief threat, really. But it is.
Thought Seamus put a few good crosses in as well. First half, stood one up nice on his left foot as well. Come back on his left foot and stood a couple.
Well, that's what you've got to do, haven't you? You try to create things. But I thought, like you said, it was good. I think you just said it as well. The first half was a good performance, a good away performance. Kept the crowd quiet. Had a lot of control of the ball, moved it, the three in midfield moved it around quite nicely. You know, we protected the goal, our own goal, to, you know, reasonable. In fact, a lot of times in the game overall, their opportunities come from us making a mistake with a sloppy pass or switching off or whatever. So that's something we've got to work on. We went in 0-0 at the break, and you know, you're thinking like, can we come out and get the goal now? Because we have controlled it. you knew that there'd be a reaction from them, because if you're their manager, you'd be trying to get them fired.
Of course, yeah.
And we come out for the second half, and it was from a loose ball by Garner.
Yeah, not the best.
It was a sloppy pass.
Uncharacteristic.
But the simple reason that I think he's trying to pick out Onana, but Onana's running. He's not looking, and Garner hits it, and the lad's able to nick in.
Yeah.
And the transition's quick, it gets it forward. Che Adams, I think, it stabs it across. And I was a little bit disappointed by Garner and Onana in the goal that neither of them got to Joe Aribo quick enough.
He stood off him, didn't he?
Just stood off him and allowed him.
He tried to block the shot, but yeah.
And it went through. And at first I was thinking, Pickford had done better with that, but when you see it come through two players,
it's crowded,
he couldn't have done anything with it. And I had that feeling that we had last year. It was like, this is like the same away game, where the first half last year we controlled it.
See, do you know what's really funny? I didn't have that feeling.
Didn't you?
No, and this is where I thought, oh, bloody hell, something's changed, because I felt like we could come back. And not, obviously last few seasons, that's not been the case at all.
No, it wasn't necessarily the game's over. It was just like we were
in complete control,
and they scored. And last year we didn't respond. We just we flatlined, and then they just went and took the game away. I wasn't necessarily thinking, oh, it's over. I was just thinking, this has happened again. A game where we've been
they got a goal from nothing.
Side. But luckily for us, we weren't behind for too long. And we got level. And just funnily enough, before we're speaking about our set pieces not being very good.
I was going to say, and Gray not putting a good one in.
And then we get one, and Damari Gray. Let's just have a look at the stills that we've got with it for the first goal. And we get a free kick over on the touchline, and Gray and Michalenko are over it. It's going to come into the box. We'll see it. So from that area, you're looking and thinking, like, can he put a decent ball into the penalty area? If we just move it on, we've got Onana there. And what was interesting about the free kick was the position Onana's taken up at the back. He was stood at the very back where Gray was taking it, and he's made this run, and we've got him circled right in the middle of the goal. And he's just dominating them in the air, which is exactly what he should be doing.
Yeah,
he wins it. Now,
he's got a 10-bar bet.
It's a lovely assist.
10-bar bet.
It's a lovely assist. I'm not convinced he's not trying to head this in.
Put it this way, if he's not trying to head this in, then I'm concerned, because he should be trying to head that in 100%.
But it knocks down, and Connor Cody, we'll just lay it on a little bit more. Connor Cody's there, runs in and finishes it really well, actually.
I was going to say, it's a good finish.
He just sweep first time.
Because it looks easy, but that's not easy at that speed.
Fast. And he's
definitely
just chucked it into the net. And obviously, it's 1-1.
It's good as well, because I don't know if you've seen the interview afterwards with Connor Cody, and he said they'd be working on second phase transitions within the set plays. And obviously,
well, we had. I mean, he was a mid-year away from getting a winning goal in a derby, wasn't he? From the same kind of thing, a set play, come back out, and it's gone back in, and that was brilliant because he was alive there. And Onana can be that weapon in the box. 6'4", he's big. Can we knock it into those areas for him to dominate teams? And if we can get the ball right, well, it is, isn't it? Listen, we had it brilliantly with Maraman Fellaini, and I know the likenesses will be there. He's big, he's in the middle, and all of that. Belgium, even though he's Senegalese, but Belgium, big, powerful. But we use Fellaini brilliantly under Moyes. So why not use him?
100%.
If you put a decent ball in, he's a handful to beat.
He's going to cause chaos, isn't he? It's like with that, isn't it? Obviously, his head is absolutely diabolical, isn't it? But he's caused absolute chaos, hasn't he? In the area there, and it's allowed, with him sucking at two players to him, it's allowed obviously freed up space for others, and Cody's exploited that space. Perfect. And
that was obviously, you're delighted, gone behind, and then 2 minutes later it's 1-1. It's like, right, okay, we're all right now. Let's get back hold of the game. And then we go and give another stupid pass away, and Tarkowski, he's been really good, I think, with his distribution, but this one is, again, we're trying to play it to someone who's not quite on it. He underhits the pass, they nick in again, and this time it's Joe Aribo running at them, and he plays it to Che Adams, and Tahi's got to go back and make an unbelievable block.
It creates the best moment of the game for me.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, those 3 blocks were just
It,
unbelievable.
and then Miko jumps in and blocks
and then Coleman.
it, and Michalenko and Coleman blocked the next one.
It was brilliant.
We again, it's something me and Ped spoke about, probably on the earlier show, of we've bemoaned that for the few years. Defenders not wanting to get
bodies
the
on
kit
the line.
dirty,
I know it's all that old school stuff, but I know, it's just, but as fans...
Defending never goes out of fashion.
Well, it sort of does, that's the thing, but it shouldn't do, yeah. But for me, like as a fan, if I was there, like I'd react to that as much as the goal as well, and I thought, no, it's strangely, it created one of the better moments.
Yeah, I mean, Ped's still on me and you're talking, so I look like a ventriloquist here at this moment in time, and he's still not thinking, but there you go. No, you're absolutely right. What you were saying there, if you're a fan in the ground, which they seen the Evertonians when it happened, watching it, we would just go ahead,
feel it, yeah.
Because to see someone go and recover and make that tackle, and then the other two get involved,
backing your mates up, innit?
That's isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
100%.
Infectious. And we've not seen that enough, have we?
No, like I say, this year, the signings we brought in, and not even just the signings, by the way, it's what the backroom staff have done with, with the current group as well. It's harvesting that like team mentality that, I really do feel like Lampard's got that message across to the players of what the fans want and believe in, and I really do. But he's obviously got that across to Iwobi massively with his running, and getting just, we don't ask a lot.
No,
we really don't for such a well committed support. I mean, we got the best away fan. I don't care what anyone says. We got the best away fans in the country. And for them to see 2 away victories all last season, still sing their hearts out, they just want a bit of passion. They just want something there, and to have that now is something that you can get behind and get excited about, and obviously that leads on then to our winning goal, doesn't it? That blocks and everything. Yeah,
it does. We'll go on to that in a minute, but it is dead important, I think, what you're saying there about fostering that mentality of, and for too long. We've seen defenders giving it like Ashley Williams. I'm talking to you. The minute a goal went in, we've seen people.
Holgate like to copy that one as well, didn't he?
The shoulders almost when we've let a goal in, head standing with your head on the floor. No, defending means something. Keeping a clean sheet means something. Yeah. Making a block means something. We've seen Patterson the other week making that block and getting up and celebrate. That's what you want. Yeah. Pickford when he made the save against Salah on his knee. I want to see that for defenders. That's as good as a goal. Stopping, you stop a goal, it's as good as a goal, and therefore it should be celebrated. And because of Conor Cody, because of James Tarkowski, we've got that mentality now. And the thing, there was I would have loved to have been able to put it up to show everyone, because people mightn't have seen it, but we haven't got the right, so can't, and there's no point putting stills of it up because it wouldn't mean anything. But when the players are lining up before the game, but you've got the trackies on, Tarkowski and Cody, I liked it, and they're talking already about something that's going to happen in the game, and you can see Tarkowski going like, sort of, let's it be, and Cody's like 100%, and the pair of them are like that. You've still got the warm-up jackets on.
Have you watched the tunnel access?
I haven't watched it yet, but I know
absolutely fantastic. I mean, we're all raving on Cody anyway, but you watch that, it takes it up another level. He is unbelievable on that. Like, his communication to all the players is just another level. Honestly, anyone who hasn't watched it, watch that tunnel access is absolutely superb. And you can see him. He's like that, like literally almost as they're getting off the coach. He's like he's in the game now.
Exactly what Everton have needed. Pet's banged on about him for a few years.
He has.
And all of that, but it's everything he's brought is incredible, and Everton will make his thing permanent. I don't think there's any question about that, which is great. And he's an example. And when you've got young centre-backs, you want them to follow him and be like, I want to be like him. Because that's
the standard, isn't it?
It's a standard. And he's doing that every day. And Tarkowski is apparently exactly the same. And this is how we work. We're in it together. Let's have Cody, before we go on to the goal, let's have a look at Conor Cody's stats from the weekend. Because I give him man of the match. I thought he was fantastic. Let's have a look here. So here we go, we had 45 touches of the ball, 86% passing accuracy, which I think people don't give him enough credit for his passing. 4 clearances, 1 goal, obviously, which was that equaliser we've just spoke about, and he won 75% of his duels. And while they're all really good numbers, it is that other stuff.
It's intangibles, isn't it?
The stuff he's screaming and shouting and organising and keeping you going.
And
even after it, the messaging from him after in the interview afterwards. Within this together, this is the start. We can't rest on our. We have to get back in. We work. We believe in the man, and all of that stuff makes you as a fan think, well, there is something going on here.
We can see all the social media posts and that from the other players. and they're all tagging him in, aren't they, and calling him dad and stuff. And for all it's, you know, a bit of banter to it, and obviously it's a joke amongst the group. It's true. It's still like you can see that they think so highly of him, 100%. So that those two, we went from last season almost having no captain within the club to this season. I think Pickford's raised himself up to being a captain. You've brought in 2 captains from other teams. Seamus Coleman now hasn't got the burden of playing 38 games back to back. He can concentrate on his own game, but also he's a club captain and a very good club captain. And I think that's almost like a shared responsibility then between the captain on the pitch and him being the club captain. And again, I think that allows both players then to be able to focus on what they're doing. And it just feels like it's all going in the right direction. Obviously, I don't know, again, if you've seen the clips when at the end and Ghana make sure all the players get over to the away fans. You know, Michaelenko goes over, takes his top off, and he's going. And Ghana's like, no, get back. We're gonna have a little sing song with these as well, and a little dance around, and it's just.
And as a fan, the fans who were there would have loved that, because they're sharing.
But I love that we weren't even there, and
love. And we're watching it and going,
it is. You know, you see all the clips on Twitter, and it's just like that's what it is. That's what a football club should be. That's what it's, and it's we've missed it. I think, and it's like I say, look, win, lose or draw, we just gotta focus on the fact that we know those characters are there. We've got some young players as well that are going to have to, improve over time. So there's going to be ups and downs, but if we can just keep that.
Well, if everyone invest in it, which they haven't. This is something the manager's done fantastically well in uniting everybody since he come in. You know, he's very savvy. Frankie knew what he was doing, but I'm not saying it's not genuine, because it is. I think it is. You can see it, but that was one of the biggest challenges he faced when he come in. He said it many times himself.
I think it shocked him. You know, I think it shocked him how much the club meant to the fans. If you know, I think even he was, and then for him and his own personal job and career, I think he's indebted to the fans, because he knows that last season a lot of it is down to the fan reaction.
He said it,
and it's just exactly what you need. You just need someone who can deliver a team that represents its fan base.
And I think as a fan base, if we see them giving everything like that Saturday, and on some days it doesn't work, we get beat. People are fine. People will be all right with it, because you'll go, you know what, they give everything there, so you can't. We've seen it already.
And as you build the quality over time, you know, like, so you can see what's going to happen. You know, like, you know, if this was it, then you know you wouldn't necessarily be fully satisfied, but you know there's a plan, you know there's a vision of where it's going, and this is just literally, like Cody says, the start of the journey, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Well, just talking off the back of those 3 blocks, which were huge. We then went and done something very un-Everton-like. You know, we knocked the ball up. Damari Gray does brilliantly. Him and Maupay strength on the halfway line, and we quickly transition the ball out to Alex Iwobi, and we can just have a look at Everton's second goal when it arrives at Iwobi, and he's got the ball here. And we've seen Onana, and again we'll talk about him in a minute, but I've circled him there. And Maupay is just out the picture on the screen, just at the bottom to the right. He's dragged their defender across, so it's allowed that gap for Onana to get himself in the space. And obviously Dwight McNeil is coming over the back, and Iwobi's about to play one of those balls into the box that you were talking about with a little bit of an angle. Kevin De Bruyne-esque. If we just move it on, there's Onana making the run, the ball's in the air. So he's in a great position, Onana. He's got himself between 2 defenders. We take it on again. He's pushed in the back. I know Ped is unsure, but for me, it's a penalty.
I thought it would have been a pen if he didn't finish it off,
But because Dwight McNeil took up that great position, the ball's going to run through to him. He stays alive. We take it on. Great first touch, gets it down, and then the next one is him driving it, and obviously the ball ends up in the roof of the net. And but Everton have got 3-4 bodies in the box there, Iwobi, Onana, Maupay's in there, and we're celebrating.
They've transitioned that well, haven't they, from the block on the edge of our box into that.
3 blocks, and then you go bum bum, and then to create the goal at the other end is, if you're the manager on the line, that's absolutely brilliant. That's coaching staff on the line. I've seen them work hard, do that at one end, and you go through them, and the next minute you've scored the goal that's turned it around. And again,
getting the bodies in, like
2 goals in 2 minutes again. Everton, you know, unlike Everton.
It was the opposite way around last season, wasn't it?
Exactly. Well, I mean, last season, had we equalised, it almost feels like, say, Adams would have just smashed that back in and we'd be getting beat 2-0.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You go, great, we've equalised, but it was the other way around.
Yeah.
You know, and
great finish as well.
Oh, it was a tremendous finish. And listen, Dwight McNeil, who, you know, he's been okay at best.
Look, I've bemoaned the signing in as much as not against the individual player, but it was more just a case of where we're at financially and what we required in the summer. It didn't and still doesn't, to me, fully make sense. However, if it's a part of a jigsaw piece whereby the other piece that we needed we couldn't get, and this was available, then so be it. I'll literally just trust in what these lads are doing, because every other decision he made right. Him going on the left massively, like you said, improved. Like for me, if he's going to add anything to this team, he has to be on the left, because he's got to, he can get the ball in a little bit quicker, and that falling for that shot on his left hand side, I think it just gives us a bit more balance. I also actually think Damari Gray's better on the right, but that's just my opinion. I think when he keeps cutting in, it's just a one-trick pony. I think he can create a few different angles from the right. So no, look, he's not at the best of starts, but what's great is that in the past we've had to sign these players and put them in and play them. We can take our time, and I also thought it was, and I know he wasn't particularly well, was he, Gordon? No. But he needed the break as well for me. So again, it's good to be able to take these players out, and you know, I think again, as fans in the past we've bemoaned like, oh well, how does he fit in the team, because he's going to start it. It's a squad game now, and to look at a bench and think, wow, you've actually got options, and obviously for the manager now with the 5-sub rule, it's massive to have those options on the bench, and even with the players we still got missing, the bench still looked relatively strong in comparison to what we had last year. So yeah, no.
Well, let's have a look at his numbers. Where he is, 46 touches of the ball, 83% passing accuracy, 2 key passes in the game, scored 1 goal, and created 2 big chances.
To be fair, you can't argue with them stats, can you? It didn't feel like that when I was watching it, if I'm being honest. But I thought, like I said, that the ball he played through to Damari Gray, just excellent way to pass. Gray needs to just think that. The amount of players we've had that never just think a shot, it drives me insane.
I don't understand it.
Just think it.
Forward players,
keeper's already committed and gone down, but
every day he should be working on that.
It's a strange one, isn't it?
Clipping it over the keeper every day. Sutton don't think Dominic Calvert-Lewin does very well. The amount of chances he gets in.
No, it's something I say for years. I don't think we've really had anyone that
I don't understand.
But yeah, so cool. But great chance he created there, and like I say, the way to pass was good, and you know, hopefully that'll help his confidence as well. And
well, we've seen just after it, he got one out of his feet and had a shot, and all right, he dragged it wide. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Get shots away. Get it out. You've got a left foot. We saw the Kiev game. You know, Goodison in the friendly got it out of his foot and bopped it right in the bottom corner, and you've got, you know, do it more. Fans are never going to have a go at you for picking it up and having a dig. No. Villa away early on in the season, and I think the game might have still been at 0-0 at the time, and it opened up. The whole goal opened up for him, and he waited, and he tried to play Damari Gray and over it the pass, and it went off. And if he'd have just got it out of his foot and hit it, he could have at least tested the keeper, and he's got to move for that, and hopefully the goal will give him that confidence to go, I'm just going to have a go here. Because if we get someone who can crack it from the edge of the box, keeper makes a parry, it might block, you know, I mean, surely that's what we need.
100%. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able, certainly away from home, it isn't going to be precision, but you're going to have to cut teams open. You don't have to, when these chances come up, you need to try and take them, don't you, and get shots away and create corners, deflect, you know, whatever, and create pressure and momentum. So no, look, I'm happy that he's got that. Obviously, you know, happy for the winner, but I'm happy for him, and hopefully he can start adding something more and something different to the team. So because he's certainly a different type of winger than Gray and Gordon is as well. So obviously, tactically wise, there'll be certain games that he'll add a lot to.
Definitely, absolutely. One of the things I did notice, and obviously, is Everton's midfield, and everyone's been talking about it and praising it. You know, fans. I mean, us, and it's great to see a really mobile midfield now, and one that can get on top in games and give us a bit more control. But one of the things I noticed was how much we're now using Onana as the man to break into the box as a threat, and it was quite clearly an obvious ploy at the weekend, and this is something Frank Lampard spoke about, is like, we've put them in now can we develop what we want to do? You know, Everton's midfield last season, apart from the bottom three, was the team that scored the least goals from midfield. They got 15 goals from midfield, which is shocking. Isn't it? I think Man City was something like 70 goals from midfield. Everton was 15. You know, and I know they're the anomaly, but other teams like the likes of Liverpool and Spurs, they were at mid-40s to high 40s. We've got 15 goals, which is shocking. So there's
surprised it was that high.
I know. But if you look at the three, Townsend and Gray got the majority, didn't he? If you're looking at the three in midfield now, you're going, where are the goals? Garner's not prolific, to say the least. You know, Alex Iwobi gets 1 or 2 a season maximum. You know, so Onana is one I think they've identified. Like we spoke about before, can you be the one that breaks into the penalty area? Can you be that awkward Fellaini type fella who can get in the end of things? And we've seen this. We're just going to have a little look at the threat of Onana and how this was used as a tactic at the weekend. The first one was inside the first 60, 70 seconds, and it was that transition we spoke about before. And it's a Iwobi. And we've got Onana circled in the middle there, coming in, and Iwobi puts a tremendous ball in, and he's got in behind the defender. And unfortunately, like we said, he doesn't know whether to head it or go with his foot. So that was an early indication of what Everton were trying to do. And actually, if he misses it, Damari Gray's on his own to tap it in at the far post. And both were onside because of the weight of past Alex Iwobi. We move it on again. That's just him, where he took his position on and where it ends up. If you take that on again, into this one. So this is the goal. We circled him again, and this is the ball in from behind the goal. He's got himself in a position where his physical presence is bigger than the fella who's marking him. And so all he has to do is make sure he wins this header. Now, if he gets better at heading it, he can just knock that straight into goal. He scored himself. As it happens, Conor Cody reads it brilliantly, and we equalise. But again, another example of Everton using him in the correct thing. Can we get the ball into him? We take it on again. So we've seen him for the second goal being the target and being dragged down for the penalty. This is straight after the second goal. Everton good move again. Maupay goes out to Seamus Coleman. I've circled him. He's got his arm up. Take that on one. There he is. Coleman drops a lovely ball in with his left foot. Onana is circled, making his run into the middle. And then if we take it in again, it's a terrible header. That goes about 14 foot wide.
He does need to work on his heading.
He's got to work on that. But that's just, again, you know, they're just something I noticed at the weekend. How he was the fella now that was breaking beyond. Maupay was coming out like a good striker can do. Pull some of I come here, there's a big gap in behind me. And we've got this big, huge fella getting on the end of it.
Power training.
So 21, just 21. Can we get that? Can we develop that part of his game? If we can, then we're going to have someone who can arrive in the box very much.
I mean, if you think with him, he's already a good player. The potential is just...
Oh, the potential's huge.
It's absolutely scary. It's frightening what he can offer already. And like I say, what I like about him as well, not just the football ability, he looks like a character, doesn't he? He's got something about him.
21-year-old kid leading like that.
Yeah, you know, and I think, look, the world is oyster. He's got every attribute you need for a modern-day Premier League midfielder. So it's exciting. And to have the balance that you've got now in terms of with, obviously, Garner sitting, you've got Iwobi being able to drop in and actually use his vision and his ability to play those balls, and him arriving in.
And travel with it when he needs to.
Then you've got the perfect blend of a midfield, and the good thing is as well is you've then got the backups on the bench. You've got like for like replacements almost. So if Onana comes out the team, you've got the Corey to come in. You've probably got Tom Davies maybe to come in for Garner. And then James Garner, I don't know exactly necessarily what type of, I'll be honest, what type of midfield player he is. But obviously they've brought him and identified him for his quality as well. So it's a good, you know, to go from last season predominantly having Allen and Decore, and if one of them were out the team, we were, you know, and now if one of them's not at the club and one of them at the minutes on the bench, then that just shows you the progression from there. So yeah, I think tactically it gives us options, and it's certainly what we need whilst we haven't got Dom in the team as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good ploy actually, and it's something you use your strength, and if you can get him, if he could get 7 or 8 goals this season, that'd be huge.
There's no reason why he shouldn't either.
I mean, he almost had a goal at Leeds, you know, the last couple of minutes, got headed off the line. He could have really had 2 at the weekend. You know, with diving header, he should have hit the target. It was a great ball by Seamus. the side footing for your first few minutes, go with it in your head or get a contact, you've scored, you know.
Yeah.
There's those moments that if he does arrive in the box scoring goals, then that'd be massive, I think.
Definitely, yeah. No, totally agree. I think, like I say, look, goals, it's not hard to see, is it? The strength of the team in the minute, we're looking a little bit more solid. You know, we've got that battling quality. The final third is certainly still the issue. You know, I think have we got the best defensive record now in the Premier League?
Second best defensive record.
Second best, and then, but I think we're still low down on the goals, aren't we? Goals scored. So, you know, from that perspective, we can see what it is. And you know,
first time we scored 2 in a game, not the weekend.
Is it?
This season, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 So,
yeah.
So you know, we're moving, aren't we? We're moving in the right direction, and just got to keep it going. Obviously, after it's Southampton, I thought then had their best spell for the rest of the game. They were the better side after that. Everton, you know, we had to call on Jordan Pickford to make a fantastic save from Adam Armstrong.
Yeah.
You know, again, we didn't stop the cross, and he had too much space inside the box to get a shot away. But Pickford was alive to it. Really good save. But in general, we reduced them to shots from quite far out, or we got blocks in when we needed to. We had a couple of ones that were registered as attempts at goal.
Yeah.
One was a header that went about half a mile an hour that Pickford just gathered comfortably at the back post.
Yeah.
And there was another one which looped up in the air and he caught the cluster shot.
Yeah, I think Armstrong had another shot, didn't he, with Tarkowski, and it was just fielded by Pickford, yeah.
And obviously the closest he come was the literally virtually the last kick of the game from the centre back when he got free, didn't he? And that I guess that was annoying from our perspective, and we do have to be careful with this, is that Southampton's main threat will be James Ward-Prowse and free kicks and corners. And a few times, I mean, we'd reduced them to, I don't think they had a single corner in the first half, but they had one. They ended up with 8, I think, or something in the end, and we gave them too many on the run in the second half. But the couple of cheap free kicks we give away.
Yeah.
You know, Coleman heads one away from goal. Pickford, I think, got it covered, but Coleman has to head the free kick away from goal. And then we had that one at the end where the lads hit it and it's landed on the top of the net. And I know teams are always going to get chances in games. It just happens, no matter how good you are. You know, Man City, you've just destroyed United in the Manchester derby, and United had 12 attempts at goal.
Yeah, 3 goals.
Exactly, and so even the top teams give goals up, but look, just got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, I think look, when you're playing away from home, you're gonna and the home team's getting beat. They're going to obviously start coming on to you and taking chances.
I think they made 5 changes, didn't they? As well?
They're going to take chances and whatnot, and it is what it is. You know, I think pretty much. I don't know. Again, maybe I was just watching it in a different mindset than normal, but I didn't feel like they were going to score still. I don't know why. I don't know. There was a bit of faith in Pickford as well. I think he's just been outstanding, obviously, for the last couple of years now. But you know, I think this season again he's taking it on another level. So it didn't feel like it was coming for me, albeit you know they're going to create chances.
You just don't want to give that away though.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But I thought overall, like I said, look, as an away performance, it's a tough place to go. And certainly for us, we've not particularly done well down there, have we, over the years? So tough place to go, long way to travel, and you know to go down there. And it was just a professional job. You know, it was an away performance, wasn't it? And it was one that, look, if they did take one of those chances at the end and you walk away with a draw, they're the ones that you've got to take on the chin a bit and but keep the points ticking over. Last season, was too many weeks were going by where you're looking at the table and we're still on the same number. We're just keeping it ticking over it and keeping that momentum going. It's it just feels like it's building to something and not
spectacular.
Yeah, you're not talking anything stupid or silly, but can you put yourselves in a position whereby when you're getting into the back end of the January transfer window, would a marquee-ish signing or an attacking type signing, more than a marquee, attacking type signing, be able to push you on to maybe challenge for a 7th place finish or something? It's not a million miles away, because the standard in the league is, you know, there's much of a muchness. And again, look, don't get me wrong, I'd be happy with a mid-table finish and being realistic, but what I'm saying is that mid-table finish to 7th will not be very many points. So if you can just position yourself staying in and around it, then maybe, you know, there might be something to be playing for towards the end of the season. We'll see.
I'll just be happy with no drama, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
it is building. It's building, and once you're building stuff, you can then, things do become very easy to go. Well, if we get that, we go up another level.
I think in the Premier League, I think you know, you and Ped said it multiple times last season. If you can just be solid and resolute, you can pick up a lot of points in this league because it's poor. It's certainly, you know, at home you should be picking up a lot of points against some of these sides, and we're starting to pick up points against those sides. So realistically, there's no reason why it can't, like I say, put yourself in a position. Not like we're up there all season or whatever, but I'd like to be in a position where the last few weeks or so, then you've still got something to potentially aim for, and I don't see any reason why they can't.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Just keep it going, keep working hard. It was a brilliant win. It was fantastic for, like you said, for the 3,000 Evertonians who'd
mate, best fans, honestly.
You see the celebrations and all. It's brilliant to see. And the feel-good factor.
All the videos on the coaches on the way back, and everything's just
jealous.
The
feel-good factor is just fantastic at the moment, and it's been a while since we've had this. I'd say probably, certainly since Martinez's first season, but I think it hasn't been for me like this since probably Moyes' era. And that's a long time, and a lot of managers to have gone and
a lot of money
spent to get to where we are. Let's have a look at the stats from the overall stats from the game. There we go. Southampton 22 shots, only 6 on target. Everton 12 shots, 5 on target. 4 big chances for the Blues, just 3 for Southampton. 54% possession for the home team, and that really did flip in the last half an hour because Everton were the dominant side. And then completed more passes than Everton. The XG, Everton had a higher XG than Southampton, so therefore deserved to win the game. So there you go. We won the game, and that ultimately is all that matters. And you know, we've got another big game next Sunday now, Manchester United at home. We've just been spanked, and with the crowd and all that, I wouldn't be backing against another victory.
There's not many teams in this league that you should fear, I don't think, and they're certainly not one of them.
No. They can hurt you, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Players, but
there's not many to fear, but obviously on the day any team can beat anyone. So that's there, but I wouldn't be going into that thinking, oh, it's Man United. You're just playing on the old-fashioned name. The team and the current squad that they've got is there to be beaten.
It's beatable,
100%.
There you go. Big thanks to Mike. We're going to carry on over on Premier for the extended final word, but thanks for joining us. If you want to become a Premier member, the link is in the description. But make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you soon.